6. No. The fourth 30 of the session. Now I know it's been a while since I've last put a video out, but I am back out on the bank and I'm off the mark already. I've only been here a couple of hours really. And he is being a little bit lively, but he has gone 27.14 this one. I'm buzzing to get off the mark so quickly. So I've redone that rod already. I've got a few more spods out over the top. Going to get a couple of photos of this one, get him slipped back. I'll let you know where we are and what we're doing. Well, I'm finally back out in the bank and I'm buzzing to get off the mark so early, especially with that upper 20. Really is a good way to kick off the session. Now, whenever I first turned up to the Syndicate this morning, I actually headed down to Gaunts, even dropped my gear into a swim called the Pallet. And I must have spent a good hour having a laid around, but I couldn't quite find anything that was happy to fish on. So I grabbed the bait bucket and came to Unity. And surprisingly, it's completely empty, so I did spend a good bit of time just having a look around, and where I found them is out in open water in front of a swim called Little Oaks. Now, tactics wise for this one isn't going to be anything you haven't seen me use before. It's going to be a lot of bug, a lot of SLK. I've currently got 3 rods out on the spot. And there we go, fish number 2. Just a little under 23 this one. Definitely got off to a good start. Only been fishing, what, 2-3 hours? A couple of fish already. Happy days. Right, just a quick look at the other side. It has been a little bit lively this one. Get a few photos, get straight back. Right, I've definitely got the tactics right. It's only about an hour later since I put that last fish back. Middle rod's gone this time. I've got a common in the net. So before we get him out and put him on the mat, I'm going to get this middle rod wrapped up, back out on the spot, another bit of bait over the top. He's been kicking off a little bit this one, so I'll not keep him out too long. Smallest fish of the session so far, 1911. It's just gone 10:30. I don't know if you can hear, but it's actually started raining out there, so I'm hoping it's going to cool things down a little bit, although the forecast for tomorrow is to be over 30 degrees, which I'm really not looking forward to. Now in the last half hour the liners have started again, so it's looking good going into the night. I'm hearing a few out there too, but I'm going to get my head down, so if I don't see us through the night, I'll see us first thing in the morning. Good morning. So last night was a little bit of a busy one and all 3 rods went. Now unfortunately the first one fell off due to a hook pull, but around 4:30 this morning this happened. We have another one. This one caused a little bit of drama. I think went through a couple of floating weed beds. Had the hand line at one point because the weed got caught around the leader knot a couple of times, but we got there in the end, and it's the biggest one of the session at 30.6 pounds. And I'm buzzing to get the first 30 of the session. Now I reckon it was probably only about half an hour after that I had another take. It was a low 20. He was being a little bit of a nightmare in the mat, so I lifted him up quickly for the camera and got him straight back. Now this morning I've redone all 3 rods, put another probably about 20 spods over the top, and I'm getting liners, so I don't think it's going to be too long before we get another one. Bit of a funny shape this one, at just a little over 22 pounds. This is the 5th fish of the session. Happy days. Now that that common's been dealt with, I've put the kettle on to have the first coffee of the morning, and I'm still getting liners, so there's every chance we can nick another bite in the next hour or so. Now the forecast today is to be a warm one. It's to get up to about 33 degrees, so my plan's going to be to pull the rods in later on this afternoon, probably nip to the shop to grab a few bits, grab a shower while I'm out there, and I'll get the rods back out later on this evening. But for now I'm going to sit back, watch the water. the move the Gaunts has paid off, which I'm not sure I told you about. But after I had that shower, grabbed a few bits from the shop, I had a look on Gaunts, found a few fish in the swim called the River, got the rods out just before dark, and we've had this one. £30.10, second 30 off the session. Happy days. Right, let's get a few photos, get it back, and get my head back down for a few hours. Good morning. So we managed to pick off a couple of fish last night, although at this point you probably would have only seen one, which was that low 30. But about an hour after, I had one, I reckon, that was about mid-double. And this morning I've just redone all 3 rods and just getting a bit of bait over the top. Because I have been getting plenty of liners, especially down on this left-hand rod, which is where the smaller fish came from last night. Fishing 2 areas in this swim, so I'm going to top up both with a bit of bait. I've refreshed the rigs already. There's a few fish showing. The only thing I'm worried about is that there's a fresh southwesterly that's turned up this morning, so it's heading up the opposite end of the lake. They might get on that, but if they do, we'll just have to move with them. Now that the rods have been refreshed, just sitting down having that first coffee of the morning, and I've been getting a lot of liners. Even now on the right hand there, I can just see the LEDs of the alarms flashing at me. But it's that left hand rod. I really am surprised that hasn't gone again, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure I redone it again. I don't know if you can hear that, but the middle rod's going now. I've got 2 rods on the spot and I've got a single down to my left. But it's that left hand rod that there's been a lot of activity over it, and one just showed about 5 minutes ago. So hopefully freshening things up is enough just to get another bite. Maybe the rig wasn't laid quite right, I'm not sure. I did re-chuck it in the night, but it is looking good. And I say the only thing I'm worried about is that southwesterly wind that's kicked up this morning. It is heading up that way, so we'll keep an eye on that just in case the fish do get on it. Well, we have another one. It's turned out to be a good session, this. This is the biggest of the trip so far, 33.9. It's an absolute cracker as well. How about that for a carp? And the thing is, fish number 9's in the other net, so we have another one to show you after this. Just spin him around quickly. Got some real nice scale in this one. Happy days. One last look before we let it go. Thank you. Right, still one more to show you, so let's get it out and on the mat. Right, well this one's a little bit smaller than the last, but just as nice and common as well this time, just over 19, but I'm happy with that. No, he's in the bit of weight again. Just keep a bit of pressure on him, hopefully he should come out. There we go. Nice scaly one again. Let's get this net sorted. I'm not going to get this one out in the mat. It's only around mid-double maybe. Just going to get him straight back. It is proper kicking off now. This one's a bit of a bite out of the blue, to be honest, or two bites out of the blue, should I say. I've got one down here in the sling, which looks like it's an upper 20. And now the middle rod's just gone. Definitely made the right decision having a look around Gaunts yesterday and getting on these fish. I think once I get this one in, deal with these two, I'll probably top up both the areas with a bit of bait, nip the fan to grab more bait. I need to get leads because I've only got about 4 or 5 left in the bivvy. He's not far out, but whenever they come into this shallow margin, they tend to go on another run. They really don't like that, coming into that shallow water. And there's a bit of weed in it as well, just about rod length and a half out, and they do dive into it. You can just see a wee bit of colour out there now as he's twisting and turning. He's diving in that weed bed now. Just see his head down in it. Oh, he's out now. Let's see if we can get this net ready. I told you they don't like that shallow water. Oh, reach for this net. Oh, you bastard. Absolutely gutted. Hook pulled right at the net, and there's definitely no worse feeling in fishing, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this will know exactly what I'm talking about. Fortunately, I do have one in the sling, so I'm going to get this one out and we'll have a look at what we've got. It's definitely an upper 20, I reckon. Right, this one's gone 28.10. He is being a bit lively because he's been sat in the sling for 10 minutes while I was playing that other one. Or lost that other one, should I say. He's going to kick off, are you? Come on, settle down. You done? There we go, lovely dark fish that. I think this is fish number 10, maybe 11. I'm starting to lose count, so I'll have to check back on the footage. But it was definitely worth the move to Gaunts. I'm buzzing about this. Right, a couple of quick photos, get her back as usual. Right, now that I've had a few fish, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to run through the bait and show you exactly what I'm using. So to begin with, I like to take some hemp and tiger nut. It goes straight into the bait bucket first, followed by plenty of 12mm bug and SLK boilies. Now I do have some 15mm with me, but I do like to crush them up. Not only all the way down to a fine crumb, but I like to make sure there's plenty of halves and quarters in the mix. And I like to top that all off with plenty of liquid. And the liquid I'm using on this one is the Bug Hydro Spod Syrup. I'm still gutted about losing that one earlier on. But it's just one of them things, there's not really much I can do about it. But I've already been to the farm to grab another handful of leads, another litre of liquid to give the boilies a soaking couple of bottles of water for myself. And I'm not going to put the rods back out till later on this evening. I'll leave it till about 7, 8 o'clock. It's about 3:30, 4 at the minute. But what I'm going to do is just have a look at the opposite margin. There's a bit of a pipe that comes in, you can kind of stand and look in to see if there's anything. But the swim I'm coming up to now, which is called the Life Buoy, no one really goes into it, especially when there's someone in the river, because if there's someone in the river like where I am and someone goes in here, it tends to ruin it for both of us. But they do show quite close in here. So I'm over here, but where the fish have been shown, just literally a couple of rod lengths out along this margin, down that side. So it's this margin here I want to check. There's a couple of little openings you can check, and they do get right in tight. Right, I've just checked that pipe and I didn't realise how low the water is. It must be down a good couple of foot, because where the pipe is, it's actually bone dry. Although I did see a few fish cruising just a rod length or so past the tree line. There's definitely fish still up this end, but I am going to keep my eye on that wind, because it is heading up that other top end of the lake, and it does look good that end. But if I keep seeing them here, I'll stay. But like I say, I will keep my eye that top end of the lake, because if they do get up there, we'll move with them. Well, we've got one weeded up down this margin. It's not moving, so I'm going to stay tight to the bank in the shallow water and see if we can get as close as we possibly can to it. See if we can get him moving. There we go. Oh no, don't want you going down that way. Oh, come on, come on. No, 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 no. Just need to go slow and steady. No, I can't let you get down there. No, 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 no. Oh, come on. Well, that one caused a little bit of drama. I did have the GoPro style camera on, but I think the battery might have died during the fight. But if I didn't get it, basically it weighted me up down the margin, so I had to go out a little bit just to get above it. Got it out of the weed, and then all the weed was around the fluoro leader, so I had to try and get that off, and then managed to bundle them into the net. But it's mid-20 this one, 25-14. I'm just going to change the leader on that rod because it did take a little bit of a battering down that margin. Right, I've just put a fresh fluoro leader on this one. This is going to be the last rod going out for the night. Hopefully it'll go out first time, he says. And he does. So I'm going to get a few things tidied up, need to get a few rigs sorted. We've went through quite a few out of the rig box today. So I'm going to get a few things prepped and organised, sit down, have something to eat, and then I'm going to have an early night. So hopefully we'll have a repeat of what we did last night. Unfortunately, not a lot happened last night, and since we put that mid-20 back about an hour before dark, it really has gone quiet. The liners stopped around midnight, and I think that was my sign telling me that the fish have probably done me off. Now the wind's still hacking up this top end, which is why I'm currently stood in the margin just to see past this tree that overhangs. Gives me a good view of the top end of the lake, and I haven't seen anything up there this morning as of yet. but I'm definitely not seeing any activity down here. So I think my plan for today will be to leave the rods where they are for now. I say we were getting bites up until about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, so we'll sit through that bite window, then we'll pull the rods in and spend a little bit of time just looking to see if we can find them. Right, so since I last spoke to you this morning, I did actually pull the rods in around 2:30, and I've done a few laps of the 3 lakes on the ticket. Now, it is starting to get very busy, and there's only a couple of swims available left on Gaunts. One of them's just next door, which is called the Stump. And I've also checked the weather forecast for the next few days, and it has to change. So we've got a new wind coming in tonight, tomorrow morning, which is going to be heading back down this direction. So I think my best option would be to stay where I am. And I've already put all 3 rods out, so they're going to stay there for the night. It is about 5 o'clock at the minute, and just before dark I will grab the spod rod and top both areas up. Now, since I've been back, I actually have seen a fish just down to the left, not too far away from that left hand rod, so there's still the odd fish about. I've still only seen that one show down here since we came back from that walk earlier. I'm just dropping a bit of bait over the 2 areas for tonight, and I'm not going to go mad. I'm only going to drop about 3 or 4 over both zones, but I do think the fish are up that top end at the minute. But the weather has to change, the wind has to come back down this way, so hopefully the fish should get back on it down here. But for now, I'm going to finish getting this bait out, get myself settled for the night, and I'll either see you through the night or first thing in the morning. Well, as you've probably guessed, last night was another quiet one, as much as it pains me to say it. Now, I did have a little bit of an occurrence on that middle rod. I'm not sure what went on with that, but nothing materialised after it. And then this morning, the swans came flying in and wiped out all 3 rods. Them things really do my fucking head in, to be honest with you. But the wind has changed, it is looking good. It's given me a little bit of confidence seeing that wind has actually finally switched around and heading back down this way. And the fish should get back on it, at least I'm hoping they'll get back on it. Now, my plan for today will be I'll probably pull the rods in about midday. I do need to head out to the shop to grab a bit of food, a bit of water for the next few days. Might even call into the tackle shop to grab a few bits, just to make sure I've got enough of everything to see the session out. But for now, I'm going to carry on watching the water, have a coffee, and I'll update you a little bit later on when hopefully something's happened. Right, that is definitely looking a lot better out there. That wind's picked up and I have spent a couple of hours off the lake. Went and grabbed a shower, a few bits of food and water for the next few days. And whenever I came back, I did actually look down that far margin first. Didn't see a great deal over there, but just down to my left here, I did see for a few fish, which isn't too far away from that left-hand rod. And just as I put the open water rods out, I could see a few cruising underneath the surface about halfway up, and we're away. I have spent the last couple of hours off the lake. Went and grabbed a shower, a few bits for the next few days. And whenever I came back, it looked like the wind had picked up a good bit. Started to see a few fish out there. Quickly got the rods out, and the right hander's gone already. They must have only been out there 10 minutes. So I think sitting on my hands after checking that weather forecast was worth doing. and I'm also seeing them down to my left. So all of a sudden things are starting to look good again. This one's kiting right, so I'm going to concentrate on this and I'll come back to you once we've got it in the net. Is he in a bit of weed? Yeah, he is. Moving again. There we go. Oh, he's solid. Slowly moving. There we go. Oh. Throw his net in. He's got a bit of weight over his head, which is a good thing. Oh, happy days. Right, he's proper kicking off this one, he's really not happy. That's fish number 13 and the fourth 30 of the session. 31.8 this one's gone, buzzing with this. Happy days. We've had a tough sort of day and a half, 2 days, and it's all came good with that weather change. I've already got that rod back out there on the spot, put a bit more bait over the top, so hopefully this is going to be the first of a few more. Well, I'm absolutely buzzing to add another 30 to the tally, and there's only one way to celebrate, and that's to have a cold beer. Now, since I've put that fish back, all 3 rods are back out on the money. I've got both zones about half a dozen spods, but just before dark I want to put a little bit more out. I've definitely got a lot more confidence now that wind's coming down here, and the fact that we've had that one so quickly after leaving the lake for a couple of hours earlier. It's definitely looking good for tonight. Now I do need to tie up a few more rigs. I've got another batch of bait ready to go. I'm just going to let that soak in the bug liquid a little bit longer before I get it out there. Right, so I pulled off Gaunts this morning, probably around 10 o'clock, packed everything up, and I was actually going to head on the Yeoman's, which is just behind me, but just as I was passing this road bank in between the 2 lakes, I noticed quite a lot of fish sheeting up and fizzing this end, so I dropped the gear in here. There's an area I know out this end because I have fished it before earlier this year, so I quickly checked that was still there, which it was. Dropped about 10 spods over the top, and the left hand rod went straight away. Now, unfortunately it did suffer a hook pull on that one. The middle rod's gone. Right, so like I was saying, I packed everything up from Gaunts this morning. Found a few fish on Unity. This one's weeded me up a little bit, he's moving now. Got the rods out. I've only been fishing about an hour. I've lost one, and now the middle rod's gone. Well, it's all kicked off this afternoon, and I'm not sure how much it got on camera, but to cut a long story short, I've made the move from Gaunts and I'm now on Unity after finding quite a lot of fish in a swim called the Lawns. Now, I've only been fishing a couple of hours. I've lost one already, but just over my shoulder I've got 2 carp in the net ready to come out on the mat. But before I deal with them, I'm going to get the 2 rods back out on the spot and another few spods over the top. Well, it's all kicked off very quickly on Unity. This is the first of the 2 at 24:11. And we have another one down the net still to deal with. It's a nice scaly one, that one. So I'm not going to waste too much time. Quick photo of this one, get straight back and we'll get the next one out. And the second one's a proper scaly one. Just a little bit smaller than the last one, 23:14 this one, but he really has got some lovely scales. He is a bit of an odd shape though. Let's spin him around, have a look at the other side. He's a proper little dumpy one, him. Right, well this has been absolute chaos. I've just dealt with those 2 fish and the right hand rod's gone this time. I've still to get bait over the top as well. So as soon as this one gets into the net, we need to top up the spot with a bit of food, because they're definitely up for it on here. Right, let me concentrate on this and I'll come back to you. Well, we've had one of the ghosties from Unity. Now, one of the smaller ones at that. This one's probably around mid-double. They do go a lot bigger in here, up to about mid-40. Right, let's get this one straight back. I've just put that small ghostie back. I do need to get that 3rd rod back out there, but I'm going to leave it for about an hour or so, because whenever I first got into the swim I must have had about 4 kilo of bait left in the bucket, and I've done that already. So for now I'm going to chill out on the chair for a little while, have a Red Bull to try and wake myself up, because I definitely need it, and I'll come back to this a little bit later on when I'm getting the rods out for this evening. Right, that is the light starting to go, so I'll make this a bit quick. So after putting that mid-double back earlier on, not a lot happened. Now I did have another pickup, turned out to be a tench, so it was quickly slipped back and sent on its way. I've been to the fan to grab that extra bit of bait that I need for tonight, and I've put all 3 rods out there. So we're away. Right, I did just turn the camera on to give you an update just before it got too dark. So after putting that ghostie back earlier on, I had one more take. It turned out to be a tench, so it was quickly slipped back. I've already been to the farm to grab the extra bit of bait I need for tonight, and the middle rod's just gone. I think this has went over the other rod, so I'm going to concentrate on getting this one in. I'll come back to it when it's in the net. Right, well, we've got another mid-double by the looks of it. It's got some nice big apple slice scales on its shoulder, but I'm going to get straight back. Probably only going to be fishing 2 rods tonight. Managed to get one back out there because this one wiped that other rod out, but I haven't really got much of a horizon marker to get the third out, so we'll just have to make do with 2. I'm not really sure what happened last night. Well, obviously nothing happened. 2 seconds, get this spot out. So we were getting a lot of activity over the area. A lot of liners, fish were crashing on it, and then it was like someone flicked the switch and it just stopped. And this morning it's been very quiet. Now I've refreshed all 3 rods. I'm just getting a bit of bait over the top now just to refresh everything. And the forecast for today is to be another warm one. So I think our best chance of a bite is probably up to about midday. Although saying that, it is very shallow on Unity, so it's not like they've got far to drop down to find it. But I'm going to carry on getting this bait out over the top, and hopefully we'll be able to make a morning bite. It's taken a little while to get the first bite, but the right hand rod's just gone. It's about 12:30 at the minute. Saying that, it was probably about 12:30 when we started fishing in here yesterday and we had one, so maybe this is just the bite time on here, which is odd considering how hot it is. Now this morning it was like there was no liners at all, but in the last sort of 20 minutes I started to see them fizz up out there again. A few liners, and then this rod's just gone. Oh, it's not a bad fish, that. Got him. Could be wrong, but that might actually be one of my targets. Right, let's get this rod out first, we'll deal with that after. Oh, thank you. Proper buzzing with this one. So this is one of my targets from Unity. The big scaley. Wait till you see this. Now he is spawned out at 34.9, but that does not matter. Now that is a proper Oxfordshire carp. Oh, happy days. Can't tell you how buzzing I am to get this. Seen a picture of this one many years ago, and it's now finally mine. Right, let's spin you around. That is a proper carp, that. Yes, buzzing. Right, let's get a couple of photos of this one, and we'll get you straight back. Well, what a result that was, and I really am buzzing to finally have that fish in my photo album. Now since putting it back, I have actually went and spent a little bit of time over in Yeomans with my dad and brother. Rested the swim for a little bit, and I've just came back. It's probably around 7 o'clock now, so I've just done all 3 rods and one's just showed right on the spot, and I've got a couple of liners there. So I've just put the bite cam on to try and capture one on camera. But for now, I'm going to grab something to eat, sit back, probably have a beer, and I'll come back to you a little bit later on. That bite that I was hoping to get on camera never happened, and the liners have dried up. So as it's just before dark, I'm going to get more bait over the top. But I'll not bore you with all the spodding, so I'll either see you through the night or first thing in the morning. Good morning. So I've just got the kettle on to have the first coffee of today, and last night we managed to have a double take. Now it must have been maybe just after midnight. I just got off to sleep, and well, I'll let you see the footage now. Right, well, I've just fallen asleep and I've had a double take. This is the first of the two. 22-pound linear. He's been going absolutely mental, so I'm hoping to behave just for a few seconds, which he isn't going to. Right, we'll get this one straight back and we'll get the next one out. Right, I'm hoping this one behaves a little bit better than the last one, because it's got a proper soaking from that linear. But this one's a little bit bigger at 23.5. And I'm buzzing to add another couple of fish. Now, I think that puts me near 20 fish altogether, but we'll have to go through the footage just to double check that, because I'm not really sure, to be honest. And then this morning I woke up probably about 5:30 to tench, which was the perfect opportunity to get everything refresh for today. Now I have got the bite cam down there because I've actually seen a few fish, and I've seen even a couple to my left show very short. And I did have a little bit of a vicious liner on the middle rod, which I ended up having to redo that, especially when you're fishing with braid. It's quite easy to move those leads, so just to be safe I've redone that one. Okay, so I'm a little bit surprised I haven't had a take, because we're getting a lot of activity over the spot and I'm getting plenty of liners. But I did want to ask if anybody can recommend me a decent power pack. Now I do have one of the Ridge Monkey ones. I've had it quite a while, it's still going strong, but I do need a second one. Now I've also had one of the Fox ones, but I've had a little bit of trouble with that. Just before this session it wouldn't take a charge. So if anybody can recommend a decent one, drop me a comment below. Took a little bit longer than expected, but the right hand rod's gone. Just kiting over the top of these two rods. Just need to keep an eye on that, especially with braid. It's a nightmare whenever it collects the other two rods, because it proper gets knitted up. So we'll try and avoid that as best we can. At the minute he is over the top of them, so it should be okay. And one just showed out there. Don't know if that got on camera. It's not too far away from where we are. Right, that's it. Go on, you have to be done now. There we go. How about that for a Unity carp? He may not be the biggest at 19.4, but he's certainly a lovely one. Now, I've just been through my notes, and this is actually fish number 21 of the session, topped off by those 5 30's, including that big scaley, the one I always wanted from Unity. So I'm absolutely buzzing. Now, unfortunately, I have run out of time, so I just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe to the channel, it really does help out a lot, and I'll see you on the next one.